Right, folks, this is a... Would it be a for fuck's sake international special, or would it be just, I don't know really what it is, folks, is that obviously you all know, anybody who watches my channel, is I am very good friends with Chris the Butcher and Scott and Wanda, and well, Chris the Butcher and Lou, Scott and Wanda. We were talking the other night before the Euro started, and we said something along the lines of watching the England-Scotland game, and one of us mentioned Buckfast. Now, we all know I've done a review on Buckfast, and if you don't know, go back and watch my review of Buckfast. So what we said is that because it's England v Scotland, we would drink Buckfast and watch the game. And then one of us said, well, why don't we do it live, do a live watch along? It's like never been thought of. Nobody in the whole world is putting on an England game or a football match and watching it and listening to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 blokes just talking complete shite. But it's very entertaining. I did an England game a few weeks back, and I absolutely lost the plot. And apparently it was quite funny. So what me, Scott and Chris are going to do is we're going to watch the England-Scotland game and drink the Buckfast. But what we're also going to do in this little video is we're going to give our England, all-time England 11. Now, you could be including players like Bobby Moore, Charlton, Gordon Banks, and Stanley Matthews and all that. But saying I was born in the late 60s, I never actually got to watch any of them play. So although they are great players, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to put them in the team because it's just that. So basically, it's the all-time 11 from probably 1982-86, you know, round there, when I started to really take a note of football. So what I'm going to do, as I've already said, I'm going to give you my all-time England 11. If you go over to Chris the Butcher's channel, he's done his, and Scott and Wanda, well, Scott's done his, Wanda hasn't done hers, because she'd probably come out with Disney characters to play for England. You got Mickey Mouse up front, Goofy at the back, Dumbo in goal, Snow White out on the left, and all that kind of thing, which isn't really a football team, and none of them are really English anyway, so it ain't going to matter, is it? It ain't going to count. I've been and bought my shirt from Sainsbury's. I am not paying a fortune out for Nike. They can go fuck off. So, in goal, I would start off with David Seaman. David Seaman. What a great name. Comes and goes, doesn't it? I think he's just a classic keeper. I think he was really good. I know I could have put Shilton in, but there's just something about David Seaman. He had that shitty ponytail. He wore, I mean, he gets it for having to wear that shit Umbro kit as well. You know, that was awful. He saved penalties in the Euros, and he just filled a confidence, I think, there. And that's nothing against any other keeper. In fact, the players that I have picked, it's nothing against anybody else. It's just my opinion that David Seaman was an all-round commanding goalkeeper. You know, he played for Arsenal when Arsenal were dominate. Not they didn't dominate, but they were, you know, they were up there, weren't they? So that's that. My left back would be Cole, Ashley Cole, another ex-Arsenal player who went to Chelsea. But defending, he had pace, he tackled, he timed his tackles. He was just a, you know, a quality player. So I would actually have Ashley Cole as my left back. My right back, I would have Mr. G. Neville. Gary Neville, fucking class. I just honestly can't say how good he was. He was 100% professional. He loved the game, he loved England, he loved Manchester United. He played many times for England. He never bottled out of a challenge. And that game when he was playing against Everton, and he basically looked like he was moonwalking, running backwards and stuff, and he retired after that. That took some guts to do. He knew his time was up, but what a player and what a servant to England he has been. So Gary Neville. My centre partnership in the defence would be Rio Ferdinand, another one who could time his tackles. He was a god in the air. He could pass the ball, and he just knew, you know, a very intelligent footballer. So Rio Ferdinand would be in the back four for me. And my final one in the back four, now this was a toss-up, to tell you the truth, between Butcher and Adams, and Tony Adams got it. Once again, he was a solid defender. No messing, no nonsense, got stuck in. Just a shame he couldn't fucking manage a team as well. But he had his problems, he overcome them. And just a classic defender again. I think Tony Adams is one of the most underrated defenders that England's ever had. So Tony Adams. Moving on to the midfield, out on the left I'd have Johnny Barnes. John Barnes, you know, that goal he scored, it was like a Brazilian goal, weren't it? When he just picked it up, when he didn't pick it up, he got it and he just ran at him and slotted it in. Classic. John Barnes. He wasn't prolific, but he just got that little bit of skill, and if he could get his head right, he would have been, you know, absolutely brilliant. So John Barnes for me, bit of a fat fucker now, bit like myself, but all fair play to him. Out on the right, and this would be my captain, is David Beckham. I love Beckham, I loved him, and I was so disappointed when he got sent off in the France World Cup. And I was one who was absolutely shouting and ranting at him for doing it. But after that game, he seemed to grow in stature. He seemed to have taken the responsibility on that he knew he'd fucked up. And he just grew. And the game against Greece, he covered every part of that pitch. And the goal that did it was just sensational. Absolutely sensational. And I think personally we still miss Beckham. I think we miss his creativity, his vision, his leadership, and it's such a shame that he never actually won anything for England. Won loads for Man United, but I think that bloke, he was another one that never, you know, like Ryan Giggs used to come play for Wales because he'd like having his hair he'd done or he'd broke a toenail or something. There was always something wrong with Giggs, weren't there? Probably because he realised he weren't going to get anywhere with Wales. But David Beckham, always there for England. You know, even when he was injured, he was still there. You know, I mean, he got injured and he didn't get to the World Cup in South Africa, but still went because it means that much to him. Centre of midfield. Now, this is going to be controversial because most people will be thinking either have Lampard or Gerrard. Well, I'm not. I've gone for Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes, another one. He's like a fucking bulldog. He gets stuck in and he won't be scared of leaving a boot in. I don't think he'd be any good in today's football. He'd probably be sent off half the fucking time because of this bloody stupid VAR and the fact that you can't touch anybody or give them a good tackle and, you know, let them know you're there. But Paul Scholes, absolutely tremendous player, and I'd have him. And then in the midfield with him, there's only the one person you can have, and that's Gaza. Paul Gascoigne, the goal he scored against Scotland will remain with me until I have got some serious mental health issues or something, because the way he just, it was from the penalty, weren't it? And it was just like meant to be. And the celebration of in the dentist chair, it just gave the fuck off to the journalists. And it was just superb, absolutely brilliant. Up front, now this could well be another controversial thing. Ian Wright, Ian Wright. That bloke just ran and ran and ran, and he got the attitude of, if I don't score this one, I'll score the next one. And he was outstanding. Didn't make the World Cup because he was injured, but I love Ian Wright. I think he's fucking brilliant. And his attitude towards the game, of how he came into the game late, and he never forgot his roots. Just absolutely brilliant. You know, where he came from, playing on a recce or bloody them fields or something. Outstanding player, and I'd love to have seen Ian Wright in the World Cup. I think he'd have done absolutely tremendously well. And partnering up front, there's only the one, and it's Alan Shearer. Another one who has scored goals for fun. Very knowledgeable bloke. I wish he would have a go at managing. I think he'd have been all right with Gareth Southgate, to be fair. I think Gareth Southgate just needs that bit of help as the England manager, and I think Alan Shearer would have been that kind of bloke to do it. But you know, he got stuck in his battles with Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira and all that. They were just like, you know, kids nowadays who watch football, they don't realise what they're fucking missing. You know, the days of Alan Shearer and Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira, like just kicking each other to bits and getting stuck in, and all the battles, and you know, even Vinnie Jones them days. I mean, I'm not saying Vinnie Jones should have played for England, but I'm just saying, you know, they were the last lot of hard men, I think, that actually played football in the Premier League. It's all gone a bit soft now. You know, you can't do it. You just have to look at some players, and they just drop. My substitutes, I would have my reserve substitute as Peter Shilton, because when all's said and done, he was a quality keeper, and if David Seaman's ponytail gets injured, we do need another keeper. Stuart Pearce as my left back. Another hard man player. I just gave it to Cole, because I just think Cole was more attacking minded, and he just seemed to work well on the left. I just thought there's just something about Ashley Cole that just gives it that little bit extra. But Stuart Pearce, you know, you can't really fault him. Then I would actually have Lampard and Gerrard on the bench as well, because when all's said and done, the quality players, but you could never play them together. It was one of those big debates of could you play them together. And then as my last substitute, we've got 5 subs, I'd have Wayne Rooney, because he is a good player. I just think that Ian Wright just offers a little bit of something else, and I just thought it would have worked better with Alan Shearer. So that's my team. I would have had the late, great Sir Bobby Robson as my manager. That man was an absolute legend, and the day he died, it was a very, very sad day for football. We lost a lot of footballing knowledge that day. But that's how life goes. You die. So that's my England team, my all-time England 11. If you want to watch the game, come over onto Scott's channel. I'll put the link down below, and join us if you want. It's just a bit of fun. I'm not trying to take anybody else's viewers off anybody else's channel. I've got to chill it. It's entirely up to you guys or girls what you want to watch, but there is a fair chance I will lose it against Scotland. I will probably be bouncing up and down like some cold kind of silver-haired baboon, and it might be funny entertainment, but it might not be. The way it goes. Go get your bottle of Buckfast. Join us, Scotland fans as well. I did want Scotland to win today. I would have liked Scotland and England to go through. But it just wasn't to be, and that was a good goal from that Czech bloke. I don't know his name, I've seen it when it went in. So come over, join us for 7:30 on Scott and Wander's channel, where we will be drinking Buckfast and talking shit about the football. Like I say, you watches, you either watches or you don't. If you watch somebody else, it's all good by us. We're just going to have a bit of fun and see what happens. Football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming. I don't think it is. Ladies.